Okay. Hello to everybody. My name is Giorgio Micoli, for those who don't know me yet. I'm from ARCI Chieti organization, settled in Italy, Abruzzo region. And here we are in the second appointment, second webinar organized within the Erasmus Plus project NFEE. That is the, let's say, the acronym of non-formal environmental education to enhance youth inclusion and participation. This is an Erasmus Plus project supported by the Italian national agency, that is the Agenzia Nazionale per I Giovani, in cooperation with local partnerships such as Cooperativa Terracoste and Isituto Abruzzese delle Aree Protette, IAAP. So today is the second webinar foreseen by our project, and it will be focused on the topic of the importance and sustainability of outdoor education based on experiential learning. Speakers of this webinar will be members of the Bulgarian organization that is partner of this Erasmus Plus projects. The name of the organization is Naturalexplorers. And the speakers will be Sashka, Vitanova, Valentin, Hadzhiyski, and Yasmina, Ivanova. Sorry, I am sure I pronunciated something in wrong way, but I hope it was not that wrong. I will tell you something in general about the project before to leave the floor to our friends. And in fact, I will show you let's say the plan of our Erasmus Plus projects. It's a project that will have different type of activities. First one, it's virtual, like this webinar. We have we already had one in July concerning the environmental education itself. This second webinar on outdoor education, plus we will have other two webinars that will be organized later on, most probably in the next year, 2022. At the same time, being an Erasmus Plus program, we will have we have 4 international meetings. We already had the first one in the month of September 2021, but because of the pandemic difficulties, we decided to don't have in vivo, but we realized it on online mode. And in fact, it was a seminar that took place from 21st till 24th September 2021. And hopefully in around 1 month, we will move to United Kingdom in Blackpool, where our English partner, Urban Organic, will host us for a study visit during which we will visit, experiment some good practices on the topic of the connection between environmental education and non-formal education. The other 2 international meetings will be a training course that should take place in Italy in the month of March 2022, to end up with the youth exchange that also will take place in Italy, but in June 2022. The youth exchange will be at the end of the day, the real moment of inclusion of the young people, especially those coming from some difficult background, because they are the main target group of this project. You see the other 2 webinars, the 3rd and the 4th, but we will have also some local activities that will be realized directly by the young people, supported by all the volunteers, youth workers, activists from our partner organizations. And in these local activities, the young people will realize workshop, seminar, meetings, practical activities in their local context, using what they learn and they achieve and knew in the previous phases, and especially during the youth exchange. The real end up of the project will be the realization and final publication, in which we will collect all the outcome of the projects in terms of methodology, good practices, experiences, field visit, and so on and so on. The project, as I said, is an Erasmus Plus project. That means that we are in European dimension, international European dimension, and the partnership is composed by ARCI Chieti, Italy, that is the applicant organization, and other 5 organizations from Bulgaria, in fact, as our friends that will lead the webinar of today. Then we have Bosnia-Herzegovina, Zdravodasti organization, Montenegro, the Omladinski Center Herceg-Novi, Albania with the Eden Center, and UK with the Urban Organic organization. So that's it from my side, and it was an introduction just to give the general context and why we are organizing this webinar. So I will now pass the floor to our Bulgarian friends, and I enjoy to all of you a good and fruitful webinar. After their intervention, of course, there will be possibility to make questions, to give also your contribution. So feel free to be part of the webinar beside our Bulgarian friends. Okay, I see Sashka, and then I pass the floor to her. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Giorgio and Mario and all the partners in the project. It's exciting for us to be in this position, and also we are happy to be able to contribute with the topic because this is what we do. Actually, yeah, we are nature explorers, and also we are part of one more organization, Bulgaria Association, which most of the activities takes place in the Chitama Forest Center and also in another mountains of Bulgaria. Yeah, we will try to show you as much as possible, but also to be as concrete as possible. For that, I will kindly ask Yasi to share her screen. Yeah, she's the the technical mother of this presentation. Yeah. Super. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this opportunity. It's been a pleasure to put things in this form. Yeah, this is who we are. Yeah, and Yasi and Paolo, if they would like to say something.
Yes, hello from me. This is the picture we together conclude that represents what we are as a team and as youth workers. We don't have a picture of all of us together, so we think that's enough as a visual represents of ourselves.
Hello from me also. And enjoy.
Super, thank you. And also with that picture, we could say that every one of you, every one of us, and everybody has a place with us, and especially with the outdoor education. Yeah, now also we can switch off the cameras in order to keep the connection more stable and to have more focus on our presentation. Yeah, the topic, as we know, is outdoor education. Our decision was to make it in several steps, actually in 3 steps. First, we will have some moment to focus on the outdoor education, what it is, what are the benefits, and etc. Then we will have a focus on experiential learning, also about its how it's happened, what are the I would say how it can support aims, objectives of our work with young people. After that, we will have a moment on the activities, concrete activities that we do in the outdoors, in the nature. Yeah, what is outdoor education? We can find various definitions of the outdoor education, but I would like to present you the one that is given by Wikipedia, because it's easy also for young people to check by themselves, and it's something that gives us a common ground. And there, one way here, one way or another, it's at almost everything, and that the outdoor education is organized learning and take place in the outdoors, and also could be residential, means in one place, or journey-based, that's mean expedition in the wilderness. And then the young people participate in adventurous challenges and outdoor activities, and there could be hiking, climbing, ropes courses, and group games. And this is also very important for us to stress that is draws upon the philosophy, theory, and practices of experiential education and environmental education. It's all that this project is about. It's a broad term, but it includes always the discovery that we go somewhere in the nature, in the mountains, in the fields, that we discover, we experiment, we always have some experience. We're learning through the connecting to the natural world, and also we are always engaging in some activities, environmental and adventurous. For some people, when they for first time go in the nature, it's for sure adventuring. And with the activity mentioned in the previous slide, we can provide much more adventurous in our experience in the nature. And it's integrating the experiential education, and since 2005, this became to be known as an outdoor education. Then an important definition, was put by the Dawson 1958, which is, see how long time ago, and still we have a lot of work to do to get outdoor education recognized by the important part of the education of the young people. And here, as you can see, it says that outdoor education is education in, about, and for the outdoors. And this also stresses that many subjects can be taught in the outdoors, and an understanding of this part of education should not be limited to environmental topics. And later on, Yasi will have a moment to stress on the nature as a place and a tool for learning. The outdoor learning involves transformation and integrate the experience. It involves the transformation of knowledge, skills, and attitudes and behavior also through the direct engagement with the outdoor environment. And following these steps of the experiential education, it provides wide range of possibility of self-growth, which is very, the base of the development of young people. And this makes it very important to adopt the outdoor education in our youth activities. This opportunity to integrate it in the everyday life, and this type of learning also, it doesn't isolate education from experience. It goes together. And also something very, very important, it's that it's hands-on in the sense of this picture, it could be legs-on learning. And the hands-on learning is the heart of experiential education. And also this could be found in the other related educational terraces, which is also the environmental education. A major primary objective that is found in the outdoor education is to inspire personal development. It's good, the personal development contains many different aspects, facets, and two of them are the self-confidence and the leadership skills. And leadership skills include the ability to implement a decision, to create a group, to motivate our members. And it's also related with the self-reliance. And self-reliance is what we want the young people to bring in their everyday life. And when we see this trait where the young people depend to their own skills and knowledge to make decisions. This makes the outdoor education for us very important, and it's why we try to use every opportunity to show the benefits and the beauty of outdoor education. Other objectives of the outdoor education include the following themes. It's a creating environmental awareness, which can develop lifelong outdoor interest and change environmental behavior. This is very, very crucial in nowadays. Another one is the building young people's relationships, which it's increase their awareness, respect of others, also develop of the teamwork. And the self-awareness, it's a knowledge of self. In other words, it's an understanding of our own personal needs, strengths, and weaknesses. And this is developed through the experience. And this helps the young people also to get more aware of the others. And not in the last place is to develop our physical skills and the physical skills of young people, and to give them a space where to experiment, to discover their body and their body in the nature and their connection with the nature and so far. And there's already nowadays a lot of researches that show the benefits from the outdoor learning in all the area of lives, for which we still need to continue to make them more and more visible for the people. Also, outdoor education provides a highly effective way of addressing some of the society key challenges today, which are the fostering connection that leads to respect and care for the natural world. This is what is really main, how to say, engine that make us working. It's to strengthen this connection of young people, the connection of to the nature, and also through this to appreciate the biodiversity and sustainability, and to to encourage pro-environmental behaviors. Also, on the social level, it's developing a sense of place, which is very important to the young people. This is connected as a sense of belonging, especially of the teenage and further. And also this is to appreciate the opportunities of available to live, learn, and walk in any local area. Also, it's a connection, the connection with the nature. And in the personal level, it's an engagement with the nature and the environment, which is for health, well-being, in nature connection. Also inclusion, discovery of new ideas, and the taking responsibility of our own learning. And as a conclusion of outdoor education, a hint and a tip that we would like to share with you and with the group is that the most important is to know your group of youths, of young people that you have, and that you want to bring somewhere in the nature, in the outdoors, and to have very clear idea, very clear why you want to go with this exact environment. What you are going to do there, what you are going to see, what you are going to experience, what could be the potential influence on the young people you are seeking through interaction with this particular environment. And also we should never forget that going out of the comfort zone has its limits and it's difficult for everybody, for which we need to construct a program which can be at the same time enough solid to allow the experience to take the place and enough fluent to allow the diversity to blossom and provide the needed to the young people experience. And here is the question for you to follow during the next slides of the presentation. And at the end, we could have some moments to share that. What makes outdoor education sustainable? Also, if you like, you can use the chat to share your thoughts, but also you can like writing or whatever. But as I said, in the end, we all have a place to share what we see and how we see it. And now I pass the ball to Yassi.
Hello. Thank you, Sashka. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit for experiential learning. It's a big topic, so it's just gonna be some basics. What we develop in learning outside, it's experiential learning. It's a challenge, an experience followed by reflection, leading to learning and growth. Experiential education, it's a philosophy that contains a lot of methodologies and in which educators will engage with learners or students in direct experience and then focus reflection in order to increase the knowledge, to develop some skills, to clarify some values, and to develop people's capacity to contribute to the community in which they are. The method is used all over the world in various fields, and it can involve group work or just individual group. It can be from ice-breaking activities, youth seminars, something else. Through the experiential learning process, the important part is that the learner is actively engaged in participating, in posing questions, in experimenting, in solving problems, being curious, constructing their meaning, their thoughts, being challenged, and yeah. Then the whole idea of the experiential education, it came a lot before, like there is some thoughts of Aristotle, but the modern theory of experiential learning, it was made and developed by David Cope. This is the cycle that he made. It's how you learn by 4 steps. And he's saying that learning is a process whereby knowledge is created through the transformation of experience. So I'm gonna explain a little bit more the 4 steps. The first one, it's called concrete experience. It's to act, to do, to experience. It's an adventure or a challenge. They're the heart of the experiential learning. They push the learner or the student out of the comfort zone and into the learning zone. But also in here, it's the role of the instructor to make it so to provide an appropriate level of challenge. As Sashka told, it's very important not to go into the zone of panic in which you cannot learn anything. The second phase, it's reflective observation. So after you experience something, you look back and assess what went well, what went not so well. And the learning usually doesn't stop when the task is completed or the game finished. Afterwards, the participants they're guided into some activities, into some discussions, and the whole reflection, it can be personal or group reflection. It depends on how you choose it, and it helps process the experience. It's the integral component of the learning, and it's a crucial step how to purify the experience, and then how to come with some learning outcomes, which can be like being able to analyze, to think critically, to make a synthesis of what happened. And also a very important part is how you share it in front of the others, not only how you think it in yourself. And I think in here it's the important part of it brings the understanding of how everybody can apply the learning in their own life. The next step, it's abstract conceptualization. It's how you make sense of the experience and how you come to conclusions. It's through observing what you experience, you can form some ideas, some theories based on the experience, and it's an important element of the real life learning also. You can apply these lessons in the real life experience and come to conclusions, ideas, insights in yourself and the world. So you must possess some skills. It's decision making and problem solving. The last step, it's active experimentation. It's the moment to test your conclusions and to make a plan of action of what you learned. With the development of the abstract thinking, what I said before, then you have the ability to theorize some concepts, some ideas, and then to apply it in other areas. It can include some deeper understanding of your personal skills. In here, you need to have collaboration, leadership, solving problems, and this can influence your own performance in life and how you can contribute to the community that you live. The educator, he's the coach that is helping learners to apply the knowledge that they gained before into achieving their goals. And everybody in their own context, in where they're gonna work, and it doesn't mean it doesn't. It depends on what you do, and this is the end of the cycle. So it's you're not gonna go back into the beginning. You're gonna start something new with the knowledge that you achieved and accomplished. The process that we make, the work that we do as in nature explorers, it's being outdoors in the mountains or in the forest, and it's important for our experience and for our learning. Now, as young people, that they're not. But not only young people, also they tend to be more in the city, and like that they become alienated to nature. So going back there is a tool that we use to go out of the comfort zone. It's for us, it's a place to be, to live, to feel the moment, and in there you can find your inner silence and to pay attention to what's happening around you and inside of you. In the nature, it's providing you just the place, the space to to feel the ground with your feet, to enjoy the beauty with your eyes, to breathe some fresh air, sometimes to see some wild animals. And this is where the adventure begins, the whole process of learning begins. Because it's in the game and we share it with the people in the nature. Playing games, it's also a very important thing that we use, like a tool. We organize it, and it's catalyzing and it's creating a common experience. And even if we repeat the game, it's not gonna be the same result as before because the group is different. With the games, we develop our creative thinking, our trust, our help for the others, and being part of the group, which is very important in the modern world, and also how to manage conflict. Yes. And connecting to each other, I think it's a very important outcome of outdoor education in general and experiential learning. There are some relationships that are developed and nurtured. We're learner to ourselves, to the others, to the world. In the group, we can develop some values like friendship, like respect for the others, or every living creature and people. We gain some trust, some mutual help and courage. So we are in the group process, but at the same time we experience everything in a personal level. So something that we take for ourselves, it's how we work on our personal growth, our concept of ourself, on our emotional intelligence, how we make some plans, how we can achieve some personal task, how we can give and receive feedback. We develop our self-awareness, our self-knowledge, our weaknesses or strengths. We develop some values, and after this, if we believe that a good society is a society in which there are strong personalities. And a fire, it's something that we gather. We gather the group. It can be used to share something or to play games, but it's just a nice tool that we use. And group dynamics, it can be a topic for a whole other webinar, so I'm not gonna go into it. It's just something there is a link below that you can click and you can read a little bit more information, but it's about how to be in a group so that you can get from the group what you want. And also in the being in the nature, we use what we can. So we connect also with animals. As I told you, we can meet some wild animals. In here, yeah, it's cows, but all right. And we learn how to have some skills also in the basic life. So I pass the ball to Valo.
Hello, thank you, Yassi. Thank you, Sashka, for that very well presentation so far. Just to bring some fun to the presentation. The previous slide, the photo with the cows, as we approached with the kids, like from 200 meters from the from these animals, they thought it was deers and not cows. So yeah, it was a lot of fun explaining to them that these are actually cows, not deers, in the forest, and they live there. Okay, thank you. So yes, you can switch to activities. First of all, I would like to say that it is important to know that any sports activity that might be used in these outdoor camps that we do, they can be used as a tool to achieve your goal with the group, because every group and every camp or any gathering of people on a place should have a goal, and you can use any sports activities to achieve that goal. Just with a touch of imagination, you can turn any sport into a tool, because of course it is important to know some technical skills and how to paddle and a kayak, or how to ride a mountain bike, but it is also very useful to know how you can use these things and that knowledge to move your group dynamics to a position where you want it to be, and to develop the group uh, and every participant in it. So now I'm going to focus on the activities that we do, such as kayaking, climbing, which includes rope garden, rope elements, orienteering, mountain biking, and so on. Uh, because these are the activities that we are familiar with as a team and as or organization. And yeah, but try to think of while you're listening about a specific activity, try to think of a way to implement that knowledge and that stuff into something that you do in your activities, in your day-to-day work, and try to think of a way to take that model and use it in a different sport, in different activities. So that way it will be most useful. And here you can see about the kayaks. The most important thing for me and for us is the purpose of this activity. It's communication. Kayaking and canoeing is based on communication, because you need to communicate so you can move ahead, and you can move forward, and that's the most important thing. We usually set a goal on the group, like we're going to the island, we're gonna explore a cave, or we're gonna find a hidden thing on the island, but behind that, our intention is to see what are the communication skills of the group, how they act and how they react on to difficulties, how they uh, manage with the stress, how they react to for example, when your partner is trying to control the whole situation and trying uh, to give you advices, how you react to that. And here there is a lot of work that the team has to do, because the team has to observe and learn about the skills of the group. It is important that this activity can be done in the beginning of a camp of program, because it is important to know how the group and how the individuals are communicating with each other, because that's the only way you understand more about them. And if you want to achieve something with the group, you have to know your group. How that's exactly what Sashka give as a hint, and this is one of the ways with this activity particular. Okay, Yassi, you can switch to. Okay, this is orienteering. For me, the best thing and the most important about orienteering is that it brings the awareness about where I am right now and what am I doing. That I'm not in the city, I'm not in school, I'm not in a place that I know, except that you're learning some technical skills about using a compass, about using a map and what it means. Of course, that's fun, and you can play a lot of games with that. But maybe while the kids or youths are having fun playing games with these tools, maybe not so obvious or expressing that, but they find out that they're free to explore. They get in touch with nature more, and they feel that they have freedom there in a new place, which is providing them the freedom to learn, to explore. Maybe they don't understand it in that way, but it's definitely a tool that gives that feeling. We know that because we personally experienced it. So we try to use it as this tool. Of course, it's a perfect activity for the first days also of a program, because it's a thing to settle down the to settle down the emotions, to find your place in nature, and it's perfect to switch from the city to the nature where you are right now. Okay, yes. The next activity that we use a lot is mountain biking. It's a great way. It's a great way to explore the nature around you. We have a perfect. We have a perfect environment here to do this activity, and we are very glad that it is so. But it is very useful to see everyone's personal engagement and enthusiasm about the process. It's something very individual, because although we're biking in a group, everybody is alone on their bike, so they cannot rely on a partner like in the kayak or in a boat. It's only you and the bike. Of course, you're in a group, but it definitely expresses your individuality and your enthusiasm about the process. And it's a great way also it's such a physical activity, by the way, that to release energy and pressure, and it maybe it's not okay to do it in the first or second day, but after that first steps in a program, it's a good way to do something physical, to, to see the individuality of everybody in the process. So yeah, something very maybe you turn. Yeah, Thank you. Something very important here also, which gives a lot of food for talk after, for example, a day based on mountain biking. You can see how the group is reacting to the participants that are quite good with their biking skills, and the ones that have some difficulties. It's a great way to see how the group is reacting to that dynamic. And usually after a few hours of that activity, we have a lot of discussions about how somebody feels about being not so good at it, how somebody feels about doing great, and so on. Yes, about the rope garden and the ropes in general, it's definitely something that gives a lot of adrenaline, and also pulls out some fears. Uh, it's a very emotional activity. Usually, it brings out a lot of emotions, unleashes, and and the team, the individual, and the group needs to deal with it. It's a very tricky moment because if somebody gets too emotional about something and the team is not ready to react the proper way in that situation, it can become very you can easily go into the panic zone here. If I have to put this in the experiential learning cycle, it's a very, very risky and tricky moment. So the team has a lot of work here to do to control it, to make it safe, and to keep the learning process good. So yeah, definitely that's these are activities which are good to be in the last days of a camp, where the group has already started to know each other quite good. They started to express themselves more freely, and yeah, it usually brings out a lot of sharing. If somebody gets over their fear of height, for example, you can imagine the emotions and the feelings that they want to express afterwards. So usually the nights around the campfire after a day at the rope garden are quite interesting, and there's a lot to learn, and there is a lot of sharing. Okay. About the camping, it's not quite an activity that has to do something with sports, but it's something very common, because our camps are always we sleep always outside in a tents. So this is something that we do in any camp. So it's perfect to get to know each other, mm, to try to uh, we live in a common place. It builds discipline. It creates routine that depends on everybody. So it's very important as a activity, and as a tool. It creates discipline, because sometimes when we have a camp that it's moving day by day to a different place, uh, we have to build our camp every evening. We have to gather it every morning, and that's it. every day for like 6, 7, 10 days, depends on the length of the program, and that's why it's very important, and it's something that we rely on. Okay, and about the food, that's the most delicious part of every camp, I guess. It's definitely not the sports activity, but it's something that is quite important, and it usually takes quite a lot of the time from a camp, because everybody has to spend some time, like 3 to 4 times a day, to prepare the food, and it's something that we do as a team, and we try to do something that's that everybody likes, and that's why it's very important to have it in the program. Just the process of creating food and cooking food for somebody else builds some kind of responsible behavior to the others, and that's something that we would like to implement in the camps. So that's why it's here. Okay, and maybe as an advice or a hint, as Sashka told you before, I would like to say that you can use everything in nature and everything that nature gives you, like in the picture next, when you can see Yasi. Yeah.
Sorry.
When you can see that if you find the river somewhere, don't think about it, and just try it out. Okay, so I think that that's it for me for the activities. If you have any questions in the end, we'll have time to hear them and answer.
Now maybe we can go back to the question that we asked you before to think about. And you can give us some short answers with 2 or 3 words on what makes outdoor education sustainable for you.
Yes, Yassi, there are some contributions in the chat. Maybe you can give a look there already.
Yeah, it would be great now to hear like several voices. Yeah, there's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Input in there.
But still, if somebody wants to say something.
Yeah, this would be nice to hear your voices also. Yeah, try to think in a to be a summary really in a sentence. So as Yassi said, with a few words, what makes outdoor education sustainable according to you, for you, or from perspective, or just what makes outdoor education sustainable?
Then I will start. I wrote that for me, outdoor education is sustainable when the activities are realized respecting the natural context, promoting harmony between us and the environment, and trying to don't leave tracks of our passage. I wrote this last part about leaving tracks because, for instance, in my experience in outdoor activities, very often there is the question of people going there with, I don't know, moto trials or these now in the last period very fancy electrical bikes and stuff like that. And that for me, it's something that we cannot include inside a sustainable or environmental friendly activity, even if we are in the outdoor. So just make a small discrimination on the type of activities that we should promote as outdoor education in order to be sustainable.
Okay, great, thank you. Yeah, this is a choice of activities, how it can be sustainable. Yeah, but other thoughts, other perspectives? Why the outdoor education is sustainable? Why it could be sustainable? Try to broaden your perception of the word sustainable.
Definitely, I saw Lira and Yonida that wrote something in the chat about it.
Yeah, if would you like to support, help us and to read it if you can.
Yeah, I don't know if Lira is. Lira, for instance, wrote outdoor education is sustainable when the people are able to connect with the nature and to understand that we need it.
Great, super.
Yeah. Also,
thank you, Mario. Lira through Mario.
And then I see as well in the chat, Yonida, sustainable outdoor education provide opportunity to develop positive relationship with the environment, others and ourselves through interaction with the nature. Yeah. This kind of relationship is essential for the well-being and the sustainability of individuals, society, and environment, and our environment.
Thank you, Mario. Yeah.
Yeah, what I consider really important now, without repeating what Lira, Yonida, George already mentioned very well, what especially you said before, as well for myself, first of all, outdoor education is in general important. Valentin said that not only for environmental issue, definitely, but outdoor education and sustainability, of course, immediately connect more with the respect of the nature and of the environment. And this is actually one of the main elements that we always need to consider. You know, and we are losing actually. That's why it's so important to come back, because you didn't mention during presentation, but of course, how many camps you realized usually in a year? I mean, how many kids you are able to bring in?
This year, for example, we managed to organize 25 camps with around 350 kids.
Yeah. This is by career association.
Yeah.
These are the camps that we all work together in there, and the Natural Explorers has the part with the children that they don't have support from the families financially. For this year, we couldn't do any of these Mountain I Love You camps, but I hope next year they will be even two. But as Valu said, like 25 and more than 350 children for this summer. It is the 10th year. Yeah. Thank you, Mario, for sharing and the question. Yeah, floor is open. Like any moment you have a thought or a question, an idea, please feel free to share. And now we can move to the next step and share why it is sustainable for us, the outdoor education. Why we do it and how we see it. And all the things you mentioned are relevant for us. And another part that is part of the heart of outdoor education for us is that we can take the experience and bring it back in our daily life, not bring it, integrating it in our daily life, which probably Value can like to say more. And something else I would add, it's that, and I mentioned it, it brings also inclusion. This outdoor education with experiential learning, it's that it's not the experience versus theory or versus theory versus doing. It's all the things are together. It's an example that we can take and bring it also in our daily life, and especially this the topic of this our project, this partnership project, is to include young people and in active relationship, active life, and so on. And that also the environment, the nature is through the outdoor education. It's not only for environmental topics. We can bring anything. Like, for example, the food. We really like this topic very much and evaluate, because through the food we can reach a lot of easily some level of consciousness in the young people. We done it last year through a project called Your Food, and we saw how easily the young people get engaged for this. Yeah, see, I'm passionate about it, so it's obvious. Yeah, please, Valo, take the floor.
Yeah, about the conclusion and the answer why it's sustainable for us, I think everybody from the team has some kind of emotional engagement to this question, something that drives us forward, and something that we are seeking and trying to achieve with our work. But for for me, outdoor education is sustainable because it creates a vision of the world. It creates a model, and that you can implement in everything, and you can try everywhere, and it's working. And when you start trying to implement this model in your daily life, it just becomes a way of living, which is great. And yeah, that's what motivates me doing these camps, because since I uh, uh, participate in them, my vision of life and the way I do things completely ch- changed. So I think that's the way to see the world around us,
Hmm.
by trying, by experiencing, and learning through that.
Yeah, I'm sure that also Yasi can add
Yeah.
her piece to the puzzle now.
I would add, yeah. So for me, it's that every time that we're in the open air and you get closer to yourself, and also when you work in a group, then you can apply all of this in your daily life, in the society that we live. So you bring all of this knowledge into the society, and like that we can make it better. We can make it work.
Yeah, it's in a way how we work for a community, like being part of a community, and also these people that we can touch, reach, like young and adults, that they are passing through the camps and other activities in the outdoors. Little by little, this community is growing, and then they're themselves becoming to be community of the influencers, the people that they participated in the activities, and so on so far. Super. Thank you very much, Yasi and Valo, and me for sharing that. Yeah. Please
Thank you to
now
you.
free, like open for any question that comes out.
Yes, maybe George, I see that you wrote something that it is not a question, but it's more a statement. But I find it really interesting. So if you wanna read by your own, what it would be, I think, interesting.
Beside physical activities and activities related to the nature, there is also positive side when we speak about artistic approach. As you know, Impressionists paint only outside. They paint what they see in very expressive ways. So when we have some art classes, it's much more inspirational to do it outside, to learn from nature by doing art, which is also very therapeutically. So no questions, just my point of view on the positive sides of doing things in nature.
Yes, great. Thank you. Absolutely true and valid. You can do any topic in outside.
Yeah.
Super. Yeah, it's not necessary to have a question. You can express your thoughts, anything you'd like to share and say. Okay, if there's not, no worries.
Also, I will do a short reflection. Really, I agree also with what George said now, and I really thank you, three of you, for this interesting presentation. Because more than talk about it, you really show us what you are doing because of your passion. I guess that you need really to have a lot of passion and engagement, personal engagement, to think that vision and that model and to think about the inclusion of the young people. It's really also this make sustainable, let's say, the outdoor education under this point of view, because make you happy in doing it, the activities. No, the reflection was concerning, in fact, the methodological approach. Yasmina was more focused on this experiential learning because of Aura network, Aura methodology. Some of the partners here represented are member of this international network, Observe, Rethink, Act, and partially the methodology, the Aura methodology, has the same concept that Yasmina was before explaining, the observation, the rethink, the act part, and that's exactly what we bring in any project, including this one, when there will be the moment in which the young people themselves will experience the learning dimension in outdoor as a view. So it fit exactly with the contents of the entire project, and that's why it was really nice to have this deeper moment with you to see your activity on field. And yeah, that's it. Thank you again. Now let's
Thank
see if
you
there
too.
are other questions.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity for that, to have a place to share.
And yes, also I would like to say that this presentation of the outdoor education like a very positive tool, especially to include young people coming from difficult background, whatever is this background. I really, how can I say, I really trust and believe on that because in this type of activities, basically there is no what the young people very often suffer from their normal regular environment. That there is the judgment of very often of their peer, of the other young people. Putting them out from that environment in an outdoor context, let them very often express what they are, what they feel, what they know, what they want to share also. And it's it's really a great tool. And very often I think that it can also accelerate inclusive process that in regular environment, like urban environment, for instance, take more time. I don't know if you have this experience, but in my short experience that I'm living, especially in the last period, I saw a couple of cases of people, especially young people, having this type of positive development thanks to the outdoor education, or more than education in this case, outdoor activities. But realize in a good way, of course, it can easily turn from simple activities to an educational process.
Yes, it's powerful. Okay, then we have a last slide, just to say it. Yeah.
Thank you very much to you three.
What a beautiful places, to be honest. What a beautiful piece of nature you are working on.
We would like very much to share it with you.
Yes, definitely. We are looking forward to not only to sharing picture, but to put our feet there. So, really, thank you very much, because it has been really interesting, especially of this combination of several factors of the outdoor education, the activities, the inclusive value, but also the possibility to develop community feelings. All you were mentioning, for instance, about the importance of the food, the sharing, all the sharing moments, but at the same time also the personal and the individual development. So it was really interesting. Mario, I pass the floor to you for a general conclusion. And
I think we said almost everything, not to be longer. We recognize the importance of the outdoor education, its sustainability. Already with the next step, we will have chance in UK to visit a few experience based on outdoor education, and then this will be for sure part of the upcoming project, like the training course and the youth exchange. We will try to give our best to reinforce the non-formal education through the environmental education represented by the outdoor, and that it's the goal for the upcoming meetings. I guess if there are no other questions, really, we can thanks again Yasmina, Sashka, Valentin for the very important contribution. Thanks everybody for the participation, even if silent and with the black screen, but we know that you are all there, and we hope it was interesting as well. Also to reconnect the different pieces for who is making the entire process. The document that you shared will be very soon available on the Google Drive of the project, so that people can follow that that links and go deeper by themselves. The webinar was recorded, so it will be then posted on YouTube channel of ARCI, so will be available also for the ones who are not at the moment present to the webinar. Thank you very much to everybody. Wish you good following of the day, and we keep in contact for the different updating connected with NFEE. So we will start again to deliver our newsletter about the project. Ciao a tutti.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
It was a great pleasure. All the best to everybody.
Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
Ciao.
Bye. Ciao belli.